Probando. Un, dos, tres. Probando. Probando. And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co-host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing pretty well. We had a little bit of technical trouble, but everything's great now.
So it would seem. I hope that that's the case.
Mhm.
Not sure what that was all about, honestly. A little bit worried that that will come back to bite us in the butt later on. We're gonna just quickly check what's going on with our deal here.
We'll have to touch wood, and luckily at La Timonera, there's no shortage of wood.
Yep, that is correct. Oh boy. Okay,
Actually, I don't even know if they're playing at home today.
they are not. But I have good news
Oh,
for you. There are going to be some serious earth tones out there in the Estadio Ricardo Garcia,
aha.
the newly minted as of 1905 um, stadium for the Tumbabrazos de Carolina, which are obviously the ones that are behind the eight ball, so to speak.
Hmm.
The Navegadores de Naguabo are have taken a 4-0 lead in
Wow.
this. Pardon me. Excuse the system noise there. That is a remainder from our technical difficulties earlier. At
A
any rate,
4-0 lead. What series is this best of then?
9,
Okay.
just like the original World Series was before baseball was decided by cowards.
That's right.
So anyway, they did this last year as well. They took a 4-0 lead against the Jinetes de Toa Baja and then swept them. And of course, the year before they got swept. So, really, by just ensuring that that second sweep happened, by sweeping the opposing team, all they did was bring their record in the national championship to 500.
Hmm. That's great.
Here they've got a shot at making it 10-5. Of course, the Tumbabrazos will be eager to prevent that from happening because boy, do they need a win in this series. They have been just absolutely manhandled, in particular by the defense that the Navegadores have put together. That's really been the difference between the two teams here. Because
Hmm.
God knows the hitting and the pitching have both been very tough on the opposing teams. Joseph Kroos, you can see, still has a flame by his name because he has hit 2 homers
Wow.
in the last 2 games, bringing his postseason total to, I believe, 13.
Incredible.
And Luis Holguin got in the fun. He hit a homer in the last game. There were issues, and it's a good thing to wonder whether, as we get into Game 5 here, whether the Tumabrazos have finally discovered a couple of things that might make them able to finally punch through, get this first win, and maybe give the Navegadores something to think about.
Hmm.
In their way, the Naves are putting on the mound Jan Pajkos, who closed out Game 5 of last year's Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. So, of course, they're kind of hoping that the magic is still with him, that he'll be able to just absolutely walk in and wreck shop on these
Hmm.
Tumbabrazos.
That would be ideal.
Certainly for us, last time he went 7 shutout and set it up for Kareem Anbar, the Tunisian, on a mission to finish the game. So let's head down to the field. As you can see, a lot of palm trees out there and a brown and
Ooh. Sorry, I got excited about this wonderful little tableau.
about the palm trees.
Hmm.
I think this is the only park we've ever been to that has palm trees along 3 sections of the outfield wall.
It's so good.
And certainly, I think some of these hitters are going to want those to sport baseballs at the end of the game. I would imagine.
Hmm.
You can also see plenty of orange or brown shirts, although I think I see both colors, but maybe that's just the skin tone on the people. They're kind of tanned a little bit after being under the sun all day.
Hmm. I do see over to the right side from where we are, there's a good contingent of Naves fans.
That's right. They will have had to travel, I think, a little bit. Not as much as, for example, to Kamui, but it's still a bit of a drive, says Will. Awesome stadium. Well, let me tell you, Estadio Ricardo Garcia is named after a Tumbabrazos shortstop from the end of the 19th century. He signed with them, I want to say, in about 1893, and sort of heralded the beginning of the Tumbabrazos being remotely relevant as a power in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, because until then, and in fact until a couple of years ago, they had never made it to the postseason at all. And each time that they have, they've had to struggle against the Gigantes de Loíza and the Macabeos de Trujillo Alto, two very good teams when they are good anyway. They tend to be surprisingly successful, maybe outsized compared to the power of their roster. Loíza this year looked like it was going to be making a deep run and then just kind of fell apart down the stretch, as happens often. But Ricardo Garcia was supposed to be this big star for them, and then he was unfortunately a casualty of the American invasion in 1898.
Mm.
And so, of course, he was one of the stadia named after some of the war dead from that invasion. There are a few other examples: Estadio Victor Nieves in Camuy, and a number of others are named after people, Puerto Rican men, Puerto Rican ball players, who passed away during those years. Not all of them in battle, but certainly all of them caused by that. And very appropriate, I think, to name this stadium after a guy who basically, in more than one way, is responsible for the Tumbabrazos that you see here today, making it all the way to the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. And yes, they might be getting owned 4-0, but you know what? They weren't supposed to make it this far in the first place.
That's the spirit.
So it's kind of incredible that they're even here. I think if you ask Joseph Kroos, if you ask Ricardo Cano, if you ask Juan Perez, even though he has the most generic name of any player in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña,
Maybe he's on the run from the law. We don't know.
that would be a great. Yeah, that's actually it. Depending on your computer, you might be able to see this, but his portrait is actually blurry. Every so often, it just kind of tries to distract you there.
Ah, that's great.
If you asked any of these guys, I think they would say they're just happy to be here. They did not expect to make it past Ponce in the previous round. They did not expect to make it past, sorry, 2 rounds ago. They did not expect to make it past Quebradillas. Uh, this is a shock for them. And
Mhm.
you know what? They're going to try their best in this game. And if they don't make it, this is still by far the most successful they have ever been. This is something solid for them to build on in the future.
That's right.
So, let's check the weather real quick. Attendance of about 4,600, 4,700 almost. Clear sky, which is new in this series. Temperature is 24 degrees, and the wind is blowing in from center, which should keep some balls in the park. That'll be interesting. This is a much smaller ballpark than the Navegadores, than La Timonera. It's
Yeah.
literally something 25 feet further in at dead center. And
Oh, yeah. It looks like it. Yeah.
I want to say that right field line, this foul pole here, I want to say almost is just barely over 300 feet.
Hmm.
So that's where you've been getting the advantage for some of those home runs that have been hit.
Okay.
And before we read our starting lineups, have our first pitch, and get this game rolling, we've been yapping for a while, but unfortunately, we have something else to tell you because these games would not be possible to record without a fleet of sponsors. And among these, there is one that stands head and shoulders among everyone else. And Louisa, who is that?
You, you are, of course, talking about Dr. Gonzalez and his wonderful wood tar liquor. Folks, 50,000 patients have been cured over 10 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments cured by it easily. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillemette, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Dr. Gonzalez, the only liquor you can both drink and apply to your bat.
That's right. I was going to say, we always say Dr. Gonzalez stands head and shoulders above the rest. It might help with dandruff as well, that wood tar.
Who knows? It certainly will stick things to your head. That is true.
That's half the battle.
If your trouble is unsightly flakes falling on everyone else, guess what? They never have to leave your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll stop putting you off your dinner and move on here with our starting lineups. First, we're actually going to go and give it the full energy here, but first for the visiting Navegadores de Naguabo. Leading off and playing first base, number 16, Rob Feaster.
The Grackle.
Batting second and playing second base, number 4, Eto and Sherlu.
The Font of Wisdom.
Batting third and playing left field, number 37, Vidal Santiago.
The Barber.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 17, Pablo Salmeron.
Rodion, which is to do with knees. It's to do with kneeling, because he's a catcher.
It just means big knees.
There we go, okay.
I don't understand why he looks this happy. He has been garbage in the previous 2 games he has played.
We saw him do something good last week, didn't we?
Yes, and then he played 2 more games.
Okay, fair.
Or 3, actually, sorry. But he was good in the first 2. It's the second 2 where he was a problem. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 56, Frank Del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
Batting seventh and playing third base, number 12, Wally Balk.
The Human Ripcord.
Batting eighth and playing center field, number 27, Graham Underwood.
Ham.
Batting ninth and catching, number 0, Spike Stonehand.
The man who needs no nickname.
And pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo tonight, it is number 74, Jan Pajkos. Fastball, curveball, screwball, and changeup, and he doesn't have much of a nickname, but we do like to call him Little Jack.
Oh, okay.
He's just the younger one.
Is this in relation to Big Jack Catal?
That's exactly correct.
Okay.
And now... Oh, wait, sorry. Before I announce the starting lineup for the home team, we are informed by Will in the chat that they used to use pine tar for dandruff. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, they still use it today. That's why you get, what is it? Neutrogena used to do their tea gel. Was dark brown, and it stinks, but it's supposed to be good for dandruff. That is in fact why I did make the connection to wood tar liquor.
And here I thought we were just doing a bit. Well, I've learned something, and we haven't even made it through the first inning.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the starting lineup for your Tumbabrazos de Carolina. Leading off and playing center field, number 34, Ricardo Cano. Batting second and playing left field, number 17, Juan Perez. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 33, Connor McDonald. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 6, Joseph Kroos. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 9, Rene Espinosa. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 41, Pedro Ramirez. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 13, Luis Holguin. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 16, Edwino Ramos. And batting ninth and catching, and doing surprisingly well in this series, honestly, number 21, Howell Harrison. Pitching For the Tumbabrazos de Carolina tonight, number 12, Nicodemo Caballero, who has a fastball, forkball, sinker, and cutter, and had a bit of a tough one last time he faced these Navegadores, but has overall been a surprisingly consistent piece of this playoff run for the Naves.
I like him just because he has a cool name.
He has an incredible name. For those of you who did not hear us last time, Nicodemo is Victory of the People, and Caballero is, of course, Horseman. So,
Good.
We've got 62 innings, a 4.3 record, 60 hits, 18 earned runs, 18 strikeouts, and 13 walks. The area of 2.61. Says Will, is Carolina paying Dro tonight? He's pretty excited about that team. Listen, Carolina is the hometown team of the two greatest right fielders to ever wear 13 in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history, Roberto Clemente and Victor Nieves. So, there you have it. He faces Rob Feaster, OPS 744, 9 runs batted in. Oh boy. Those Naguabo fans out there better be careful. They are not sitting together. I wonder if some of those are couples. It's not... Finding a brown shirt in this time would not be difficult. Finding a sapphire shirt.
Yeah.
Fastball misses low and away. 1-0, and we are off. Feaster bounces that one. It's a fly to Juan Perez. Left field, and he's got it. That's out number 1.
That was fast.
Fastball in the exact same spot, and he still went for it. Sure, why not? Noticeably a slower fastball. Maybe he thought he could do some damage on it. Anyway, here comes Eto and Sherlou. The font of wisdom is sitting on a 793 OPS with 1 home run, which we got to see last week live, and 14 runs batted in. First pitch to him from Caballero, and Sherlou swings directly through that fastball 0-1. Caballero has not yet had to throw any of his off-speed pitches. This is an interesting matchup. The Navegadores are lefties who like to crush lefties. That forkball is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Sherlou lands in the hole early here. Can he protect the plate, fight, compete this at-bat? He hinks that one right back to Caballero. It's a comebacker. And Nicodemo Caballero with great work out there, as that could have slipped by him or hit him. But he catches it, and 5 pitches in, he'll face Vidal Santiago. Santiago has struggled through much of this postseason, but he's sitting on a 635 OPS. 11 runs batted in, 2 outs, and the base is empty for him after Sherlou got jammed on that cutter. Can Santiago at least give the Naves a long at-bat here? That fastball misses low. It's called ball 1. Caballero for the 1-0 pitch. Misses low and away with a sinker, 2-0. Looks like that pitch misses inside with a fastball, so it'll be a hitter's count for Vidal Santiago here. 3 straight balls, no strikes, base is empty, and 2 outs. Can the Naves get a walk out of this, maybe extend their lead or extend their inning a little bit more? And they do. It's a 2-out walk to Vidal Santiago. He'll be on base. So Caballero will have to face a 4th batter, and you'll have to pardon me for a second, as I need to make sure the commissioner's bed is properly set.
Alright, yeah. He's a real taskmaster, that commissioner. Oh, I love looking at this field of palm trees.
Maybe that's the secret. It makes you feel calm and like you don't want to swing at the ball.
Watching them sway gently in the breeze coming out from center.
There you go. Nice. Here comes Pablo Salmeron. He is still doing quite well over the course of the entire postseason. OPS of 857, 9 runs batted in. But safe to say that the past 2 games have not gone as well for him as one would hope. During the season, he was incredible against lefties, and we really haven't seen that so far. As Vidal Santiago runs back on that first pitch there, first throw rather. Salmeron was second on the club with 15 home runs on the year. And here he hits that one away and apparently has to request a new bat.
Ooh, wow.
Says, Will, the most adored commissioner in all sports. That's because he's also the most intelligent commissioner in all sports. It's an 0-1 count. Fastball misses away 1-1. Pickoff throw to first, and it almost skips out of Croz's glove, but Santiago can't advance, and we'll stay at 1-1. Santiago can't advance. Wasn't that John Fogerty song that he wrote to evade copyright or something?
You lost me.
We don't have to keep going with this. Santiago is back on that pickoff attempt as well. Salmeron swings right through that one, a sinker, 1-2, and he's in trouble now. But they have gotten 12 pitches out of Caballero. That's something. Salmeron flies that one down the left field line. Looks like that one's going to stay fair. Is it? No, Perez watches it fall right on the line.
Wow.
Maybe he's in witness protection for point shaving. We stay at 1-2. Can Salmeron do something here? He swings on that one, and no mistake about that. That's going to stay fair, and Juan Perez will have it. He puts up the glove, and that ends the inning. So after all that, just 4 at-bats in the top of the first. Naguabo gets a walk and nothing else in the first half frame they get here. The Tumbabrazos will get to respond against number 74, Jan Pajkos, who has thrown 39 and a third innings, 3 wins and 1 loss, 17 strikeouts, 9 walks, ERA of 2.52. He will face Ricardo Cano, Juan Perez, and Connor McDonald, a very strong top 3, all lefties, who should be able to take some advantage here of Pajkos, who is a righty. Cano, OPS of 688, no home runs, 11 runs batted in. Before we get into it, what did you think of that first inning?
It was over pretty darn fast, and I don't know. It's making me nervous. I feel like they might get complacent and they might lose this game. That's kind of where I'm at.
There is a very real possibility there. They've had kind of that energy throughout the series where oftentimes they don't seem to be taking it very seriously, but they've also had games where they scored, 4 in 1 inning. So
True.
It's
What do you think about
the game? The Tumbabrazos are doing the thing that the Naves used to be good at, which is you see a pitcher multiple times, you start tagging him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem because Jan Pajkos is not an Everton Stack or a Ted Balloon. He's a very good pitcher, but he is a mere mortal compared to those guys. And so things could go very wrong for him here, but he is also much more a 1900s type of pitcher. He goes for the ground ball a lot. He trusts his defense much more than either of those guys do. And the defense so far has been the difference. So I think it's going to be a tough game, but I do think they're going to win.
Oh, a little bit of optimism there. I like it.
Here comes Cano. OPS is 688, 11 home runs. 11 runs batted in, no home runs. Pajkos held opponents to a 220 batting average during the season. The area of 2.30. And he opens him up with a fastball, which misses low. Ball 1. Pajkos has
we're seeing...
Ooh, look at that. Valdez catches that one on the line drive.
Nice.
And he's got it on a fastball.
Pretty
You
good.
were saying?
I like to think that we can see brown t-shirts, obviously, for Carolina. We can see teal for the Naves, for Naguabo. I like to think that the people wearing the white shirts are just hoping that it's a good ball game. They're not really
both
choosing
teams
sides.
have fun.
Remaining neutral.
That's right, the Guayabera of peace. With 1 out and the bases empty, here comes Juan Perez, former telegrafista, with an OPS of 536 and 9 runs batted in the postseason. He's had some real trouble here, but Pajkos lets him have ball 1 with a fastball there. But then evens it up, thanks to a call from the umpire there that we all probably would have doubted if it went against our team. Fastball away, but it's called strike 1, evens the count.
I like the thought of people getting specially embroidered Guayaberas for their teams. instead of jerseys
That would
at this
be
time.
that would be pretty amazing. You would have to imagine that the Tumbabrazos one would have machetes embroidered on it.
Yes, that'd be so good.
Perez fouls off that changeup, especially if you put them on like the shoulders. I feel like
Hmm.
really bringing a whole new meaning to the term shoulder blades.
Yes, yes, it's very funny.
It's a 1-2 count. Curveball misses inside 2-2. Jan tried to get a little bit cute there with that one. Didn't quite work. And on the 2-2 pitch, Perez hits that one
Ooh.
through. It'll be
Oh
into
man.
center field. Ham Underwood will have to run it down out there as Valdez couldn't quite get to it. So Perez holds it first. Carolina fans very, very grateful for that. They haven't had a lot of those to cheer on. So here comes Connor McDonald, the English designated hitter. OPS of 818, 1 home run and 13 runs batted in. Man on and 1 out. McDonald swings right through that first pitch, which is a curveball 1-1. Pajkos follows it with a fastball blown away to even the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner, and 1 out. Then he follows it up with a little bit of variety. He throws to first there, and Juan Perez will be held on. See, they now have learned to be a little bit more careful because Stonehand suddenly got into his groove. I don't know what happened there, but he started throwing out runners something awful again.
Nice.
1-1 count. He misses inside with a fastball, 2-1. Jan then goes for the pickoff again. Perez is back to first. I don't know what game they're playing here, as that is swung on and flown over the infield. Can of corn there for the font of wisdom, and he's got it. Out number 2.
It's baseball. The game is baseball.
That's right.
I'm just passing you a little note. It's baseball.
Mm-hmm. I'm imagining like the Frasier and Ross thing, where he holds up a note saying, "You're fired."
Yeah.
And she replies, "I'm union." And here's the guy you don't want to face in the first inning. Here comes Joseph Kroos, who is, we're just going to say the entire slash line because it is nuts. Average of 358, on base percentage of 392, OPS of 1182, which
Man.
I want to say, I might be wrong here, but I have a feeling. Okay, well, he walked into it with 1241, so they have blunted it somewhat.
Ah.
But he's still well in medieval OPS territory.
Yeah.
13 home runs in the postseason and 27 runs batted in, which we can't check right now, but I feel like it's a record. Comes up with 2 outs and a man on first, and he's actually a little bit worse against righties, which might be the one thing. Pajkos was pretty able to keep him under wraps in their last matchup, but so was Ted Balloon, and Joey Kroos made him pay for that, so we'll see what happens here. As Juan Perez runs back to first base there. Pajkos gets the changeup in there, strike 1. Kroos flies that one down the right field line, but as everyone waits with bated breath, it turns out to be foul. The wind blowing in from center should help a little bit, keep his balls in the park as well.
Mm-hmm.
With 2 strikes here, let's see if Pajkos can end the inning. And he does! Swinging strike, and Pajkos finishes the first inning by collecting his first K of the night on a curveball. So Carolina will get a hit, and that's it. And at least one Navegador is taking this game as seriously as it needs to be taken. So here we go into the second. The Navegadores and the Tumbabrazos are currently
Do we have a quick word?
in a scoreless tie. And yes, I think, what was I going to say? This in particular is a pretty short commercial because this company, and I eventually want to go back and translate the rest of these, but this copy of the Boletín Mercantil de Puerto Rico is incredibly faded. And
Okay.
the scanner didn't seem to pick up some of the ink very well. But this company has an entire section, an entire column, just for their products.
Amazing.
I will step away from the booth, Louisa. It's all yours.
Thank you. And folks, if you don't want to be faded, you need to try Rigaud's Colorigen. That might be French, Colorigen. Regenerative liquid for hair's original color. In 8 days maximum, without using any other substance, it restores original color to hair without staining the skin or clothing, and without the slightest risk. The Colorigen entirely differs from other dyes based on silver nitrate, terrible, which require the use of 2 or 3 different and dangerous liquids. So avoid that, get Rigaud's, and the agent in Puerto Rico is, of course, J.R. Amadis and Company. I wonder what it was. My guess is henna. It's probably just henna. That would make a lot of sense. It says it won't stain skin or clothing, but it probably will, won't it? If we're talking about 1905 hair coloring technology.
This is a joke for two people, neither of whom is listening to this ball game right now. But if J.R. Amadis is selling French products, does that make them Amadis de Gaula?
Hold for applause.
Thank you. Amadis of Gaul was the one of the knightly romances that Don Quixote was obsessed with.
Ah, I see.
Boy, that's what you come to Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo for. Ball games and learning about Don Quixote references.
And hair products, apparently, tonight.
Yeah, that one was particularly interesting because I don't know how you know silver nitrate. I know it as a fundamental ingredient in iPad screens.
Oh, interesting. I am not sure I know it directly, but I think I know it as a dangerous chemical for photo developing. That might be a
Right.
different thing.
That's why I know it as a chemical
Okay.
for iPad screens because Kodak, which I live in a region of the region of the country that Kodak essentially ran and then ran into the ground once they outsourced everything.
Mm-hmm.
When they went into bankruptcy and after they had laid off all their workers and restructured their obligations and killed their pensions and whatnot, they suddenly discovered that a use of silver nitrate as a superconductor that would allow for touchscreens to be much more sensitive. I remember that article in the local fish wrap.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. So let's talk about happier things, shall we? Like headed hair dye,
Mm-hmm.
or Nicodemo Caballero taking on the middle of the lineup of the Navegadores de Naguabo. He did very well over that first inning, 14 pitches with a walk and did not allow a hit. He will face Del Castillo, Valdez, and Balk at minimum here. Del Castillo OPS of 897, 12 home runs, including, I keep doing that, 1 home run, 12 runs batted in.
It's aspirational.
Mm-hmm. You ever feel like the hemispheres of your brain seem to be switching sides here? Like
Yes.
the thing that your left eye should be seeing is getting flipped to your right.
They used to say that's the way the brain works. I don't know if they still say that because it sounds bizarre. But I remember as a kid, I had a anatomy book that told me that.
That's why I was very careful to just stick to the eyes and say the thing your left eye is supposed to be seeing
Mm-hmm.
is going through the other one. So no, I'm not trying to connect the brain part of it because I knew I was on very shaky ground there.
Who knows how the brain works? That's a mystery.
That's right. Fastball inside, but it's called a strike on one. How does the brain work is a sequel to What Does the Fox Say? As the
Mm-hmm.
Castillo tries to run out that grounder short, but Ramos is not having it. Big throw from him, and he's got him at first. Out number
Darn.
one. Bases remain empty for Benji Valdez. He started off this postseason on fire and has cooled down, I think, some. Although he did have that inside the park home run in game two that was just amazing. And he does still have an OPS of 722, that home run, and then 10 runs batted in total. Comes up with the bases empty and 1 out. And if he can make it on base, then things get really interesting. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Caballero's a good runner holder, so they may not have a ton of success on the base paths today like they have done in previous games, but even then, I have to imagine Benji would try for some steals, put some real pressure on the pitcher. Fastball misses up and away, 2-0. Throws another one. That should be in there. It's a called strike. 3 fastballs so far. So he's got 2-1 now. Trying to power those past him. Does that miss? No, it's called a strike. Sinker for the first time there, giving it a little bit of downward movement. Valdez presumably thought that's a straight fastball. It'll miss the zone, but it wasn't. 2-2 count. Can he get Valdez here? No, Valdez slaps that one away. We'll keep going. Cutter up and a little bit away. We stay at 2-2. This is a good at bat. As that fastball misses way outside and brings us to a full count. So you know what that means. It's time for the 6 words everyone loves to hear during a baseball game.
Here we go.
This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo!
Coming in. Valdez hits that one all the way to the warning track. It'll be down for extra bases, and he'll be running that one out. I'm guessing that's a double. In La Timonera, that is easily a triple, but, you know, you got to work with the park you got. So that'll be a 1-out double for Benji Valdez there, the first hit by the Naves, and it'll put him into scoring position. Hit very hard, 176 kilometers an hour there, at just enough of a launch angle to split the gap in the outfield. And I don't even know why he slid. He was just showing off at that point.
Yeah, really.
Just so far ahead of the throw. Here comes Wally Balk. OPS of 615, 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. He's had his tough spots, but he also recently put up something like a 2-hit game, walk in there as well. We take certainly anything we can get from him here. First pitch to Wally Balk is a cutter, low and away, 1-0. They're going to be rather afraid of him as he led the ball club in home runs during the season. Cutter misses inside with 17.
Whoa.
Yeah. Joseph Crow's looking at that and saying, I hit that many during the postseason. Are you kidding me?
I don't get out of bed for less than that.
Exactly. Sinker is in the zone somehow. This umpire and that left edge of the zone is just... They have a very close relationship there. 2-1 count. He hits that one. It's a fly ball to left field. Juan Perez chasing it down. He puts up the glove and he's got it, so Valdez will run back. Now we enter what baseball historians like to call, when discussing the lineup of the Navegadores and Naguabo, the questionable zone. Ham and Spike, which... Again, great names to have at the bottom of your lineup. That's a real baseball team. Bottom of the lineup there, Ham and Spike. That's how you know you're in 1905. But they can come up big. They have done it in the past, and most of the time they don't. They're really more valued for their glove, but when they do, oh buddy, it's a party. Ham Underwood comes into this game with a 681 OPS, no home runs, 9 runs batted in, and 14 stolen bases, which you will notice is tied for second during this postseason. I believe he stole 3 of them in Game 4.
Ah, so good.
Let's see what he can do. Oh, he is eager. Slams that one foul down the third baseline, 0-1.
He's forgetting he has to get on base first.
Yep. Fastball misses inside, 1-1. He watches that. Cutter in there for a strike, 1-2. What is he going to do here? Hits that one. It's another fly ball to left field. Boy, Juan Perez is getting a real workout out there.
Really?
And it's caught. The Navegadores fans seem rather loud about that. I really hope those aren't Tumbabrazos fans, because why are you yelling at your pitcher?
Maybe they just like yelling.
Possibly. I mean, they are named the Arm Hackers, so One hit, one left on, and the Naves are not going to get too many more chances like that the way Nicodemo Caballero is pitching. Says Will, would the batter's eye in this park be considered too busy by today's standards? You're damn right it would. Are you familiar with this, Louisa?
No, I'm not. Tell me more.
The batter's eye is the part of the ballpark that is directly opposite the batter. So where that center section of palm trees are.
Yes,
Usually
so you
these
know what that's
days,
distracting.
yeah, usually these days it is colored a very standard shade of ballpark green, that kind of tealish green that you see a lot in
Yeah.
baseball stadia. And it's
Mhm.
typically kept as free of weird stuff as possible, ads, whatever, because not only is it distracting in the sense of it makes it hard to swing, but it also may mean that you're not paying attention to the pitch when it comes in, might increase hits by pitch, things like that.
Yeah,
So
that makes
yeah,
sense.
these days people do generally try to set that up to be very simple. Uh, Apparently, what I've also learned is that once upon a time, I think it was thought that black obviously would be best because it would uh, contrast well against the gray uniform, the white baseball, and
Yeah.
whatever. But the
You wouldn't get any
teal,
reflections.
exactly. But the teal is a little bit less intrusive in that way.
Mhm.
So that's what they've stuck with.
That does make sense. I've noticed the park here has no ads,
Mm-hmm.
unusually.
Yeah, Carolina being a big enough town, the ads are they can probably figure out some way to do that. Or
Hmm.
maybe in this era there might have been something of a revolt against this. Remarkably, we already know that in the next version of our simulator, what used to be called bleachers for the center field section is now properly called the batter's eye.
Aha.
So you may be seeing that show up at La Timonera because we believe it actually can slot onto the grotto.
Nice.
You can have it sit next to each other, but we might be slightly wrong about that. It may have just been a stroke of luck, but we'll see. Anyway, bottom of the second, Rene Espinosa, Pedro Ramirez, and Luis Orguin against Jan Pajkos, who is through 1 inning, 14 pitches, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. Espinosa hitting 281 this year during the season, 72 runs batted in, and here he watches a strike right down the pipe. OPS of 636, 7 runs batted in, and he's not going to bat in anymore if he keeps watching strikes like that. Fastball inside, 1-1. You have to imagine that Jan is happy he got away with that one,
Yes.
as he gets strike 2 on a foul fastball there. But you got to reach back for that breaking ball. You are, as Espinosa then chops the next pitch. It's a curveball, so he did do what I told him to do. Can he get him out, is the question now. As he misses low with a curveball. And Jan, like Ted, oh boy. That is hit, and it's also foul. Everybody's very appreciative of how far that traveled. 2-2 count, and Pajkos once again ready to work. Just barely misses the zone with that curveball. He's thrown 4 straight curveballs here, and that'll bring us to a full count. So here we go again. This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo.
Can he finish them off? Espinosa cracks one up the middle, and it'll be another base hit. So Underwood will throw that back into the infield, and they'll have the leadoff man aboard with no outs. Curveball there. Maybe don't throw. I don't know. This might just be me. I'm not a pitching coach, but maybe don't throw 5 curveballs in a row.
Pitchers just love to find one pitch that suddenly that's their flavor of the month, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta throw this pitch every single time.
Exactly. Here comes Pedro Ramirez, who is currently hitting 610 in the postseason, 9 runs batted in. That's OPS, not average. Man on first
Great
and no
mustache.
outs as he hits that one down the right field line, but that, I believe, is going to go foul. He does have a great mustache. The Cuban players in general, I think, have better facial hair. All one.
Okay.
As there's a pickoff attempt to first, but he's safe over there. Ramirez watches that fastball miss outside, 1-1. Ramirez flies that one out over the infield. Benji Valdez saunters over to it, waits for it, and he's got it. It's out number 1. So that's something. With 1 out, here comes Luis Holguin, who hit possibly the most unlikely home run of this postseason off of Ted Balloon in Game 4. He comes up with an OPS of 537 and 10 runs batted in. Usually he's here for his glove. Here he goes with a bunt. Pajkos chases it down, throws to first, and it's a successful sacrifice hit for Luis Holguin.
Nice. I like a bunt.
Indeed. Good play there. Espinosa over to second. And here comes shortstop Eduino Ramos, who despite the Navegadores really trying to push him hard here, has still held on to an OPS of 712. No home runs, 4 runs batted in. 2 outs and a man on second, pardon me here, as Pajkos misses outside with that curveball, 1-0. Ramos swings through that fastball in, misses, 1-1. And he checks his swing successfully on the next pitch, which is a screwball to that same spot, 2-1. Not banana ball with that successful sac bunt, says Will. That's right. In bunt we trust. Well, we, being the Navegadores, no, but the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueño as a whole, yes. Changeup is called in there. Pajkos finally taking advantage of the umpire's specific time zone, strike zone there. And he got him. Eduino Ramos gets baited and hooked on the curveball. Pajkos ends the second inning, much like he did the first one, with a man on base and a swinging strikeout. The side is retired. The Tumbabrazos get nothing as we're through 2. Says Will, bunts don't suck, despite what the bananas think. That's right. I still wish we could have a legit bunt derby like the KBO does, but in the LNP. We tried having that bunt off one time, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it turned out very... I don't think the game understands what we wanted there.
Well, it wouldn't let you bunt with the bases loaded, which makes sense, because no coach on earth would tell you to do that. But what if your coach is doing a bit?
Yeah, exactly. What if he's
cool.
just a silly little guy? What about that?
Be cool about it. Top of the third, Stonehand, Feaster, and Shirley against Nicodemo Caballero, who is through 2 innings on 31 pitches, 1 hit, 1 walk. Stonehand is, well, if your OPS is within the range of the Roman Empire existing, the Western Roman Empire existing, you're in trouble. And Stonehand's OPS is currently 454.
Yeah.
He does, however, manage to come up with a weird amount of surprising walks or weird hits that somehow fall in. So we'll see what's going to happen. Says, well, I think Louisa won a bunt off once. See, there's a D in that bunt there.
Nice. I do have a mini bunt pen, and man, there's something so cute about a miniature cake you can't resist.
Yes. As Stonehand flies out on that first pitch, clearly having heard me hype him, and decided that he can't manage those expectations. That'll turn the lineup over, and here comes Rob Feaster, who's 0 for 1 with an out, and the base is empty. Let's see if Feaster can take a little bit longer on this at-bat, as that cutter misses for ball 1. Does he go on this? He does, and he lines it the other way. That is going to hit the wall.
Nice.
And it also will be down for extra bases. Cano, they're chasing it down, picks it up. I'm guessing that's going to be a double. No, Feaster is going for 3.
Yes, okay, good. I was afraid he stopped at 1.
It's going to be a 1-out triple for the Grackle as Feaster, the Nor'easter, finds himself 90 feet away. It's his 5th triple of the postseason. And here comes Shirley, who could easily knock him in with a ball into the outfield. They have had a lot of successful sac flies during this playoff run. This might be the time for another one. With a man on third and 1 out. Here comes Shirley, who's 0 for 1 off of Caballero. He had 284 with Crispy Rispies during the regular season. That fastball misses inside 1-0. Even this umpire thought that was a ball. He hits that one through the middle. Feaster will score, and the Navegadores draw first blood on the classic base hit, splitting the infield there. It's an RBI single for Ito and Sherlew.
That was beautiful.
And Carolina is not happy.
Went right through the... Yeah.
Nice.
So good.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one town where I think... Here's the question for you. The team is called the Arm Hackers. You're a pitcher. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I think I do.
I think you have to be especially afraid of the jeering when that's the team you play for.
Mm-hmm. They're all waving their miniature commemorative
Machetes.
Nerf machetes.
Nerf machetes. Yeah, they were invented a lot earlier in this reality.
What else could they be made of that you would have used in 1905? Maybe discarded sugarcane parts?
Ooh,
Make some
interesting.
Little machetes for the kids.
Or sugarcane. I'm wondering if perhaps there was like a cane juice mold in the form of a machete of some sort.
That's pretty good.
That's
got to be one of their stadium snacks, right? A nice piece of sugarcane.
Yeah. Santiago comes up. Although I would imagine they'd probably have it as a beverage more than as a solid at this point.
Ooh,
I would imagine
nice.
cane juice would be the move here.
Yeah.
Hope he has a 640. Well, sorry, he drew a walk last time. I don't know why I'm reading his stats like it's his first time at bat. That sinker is in there, 0-1. Let's see if he can do something here. He lines that one into right field. Holguin chases it down. And there's nothing you can do but tip your cap to that. Catch on the run there from the right fielder. That's exactly why he's out there. And with 2 outs and a man on, here comes Pablo Salmeron. 0 for 1 on the day. His on-base percentage under 400. Let's see if he can get something done. No, he hits that one directly to Joey Crows. He takes it unassisted. And I think our man Pablito is officially pressing at the plate. So the side is retired, but they get the 1 run in on 2 hits. So now it's up to Little Jack Pajkos and the rest of this storied pitching staff to keep the Tumbabrazos off the bases. Did that run give you any more confidence in our Naves here?
I mean, it was good. And I do feel a little bit more confident. Yeah, I guess I do. Although being more confident makes me nervous.
I know, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You never want to start feeling confident. You want the confidence. You do not want to be aware of the confidence.
Yes, exactly.
That's where you fall into the trap. Anyway, Jan Pajkos takes the mound against Howell Harrison, Cano, and Perez. Harrison, 630 OPS, no home runs, 8 runs batted in, and he's just had his way with the Naguabo pitching staff. Whatever he wants to do, it gets done some way or another. As that fastball is fouled off, 0-1. He had like 3 successful sack hits in a row. He's drawn walks. He's gotten doubles. It's incredible how much he's menaced them during this season. And maybe Pajkos had enough of it because he puts that fastball almost at his chin. 1-1. And it was a fastball, too. That's a straight-on pitch. He knew where he was putting that. He fouls off the changeup. Says Will, I was so focused on the palm trees in center and didn't even see the bullpens on the sides. This is a fun stadium. Yes, actually, the Naguabo bullpen, by the way, is in right field. That's why the sapphire shirts are there.
Aha, I see.
1-2 count. Ooh! Howell Harrison gets rung up on a check swing ruling. A screwball punches him out, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Jan Pajkos. Here comes Ricardo Cano, who is 0 for 1 on the day with an out, and the base is empty. Cano watches that screwball low for 1-0. The screwball is really Pajkos' signature pitch on this staff.
Okay.
I think he's the only one who throws it on the Naves. As Valdez gets that pop fly, it's a curveball this time, and it's out number 2. The screwball is cool because it's an opposite hand curveball, basically. So if you're a righty, it gives you a weapon against lefties, and vice versa. And speaking of, here comes Juan Perez, who is 1 for 1 on the day with 2 outs and the bases empty. Can Pajkos get a little revenge on him? Not like that, he can't. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Stonehand then moves inside and takes a curveball in. Perez not swinging yet. It's 2-0 now. Pajkos. Perez checks a swing on a third fastball, and the umpire is really squeezing him down low here. All three of those pitches being balls is rough. So it's a hitter's count for Pajkos, who will presumably now have to go for the gentleman's strike. And he not only, wow, he throws a fastball right down the middle, and Perez swings, which makes him a scoundrel. But he misses, 3-1. Never mind, because Pajkos walks him with the next pitch. A fastball down there, and it'll be his first walk of the game. Connor McDonald comes up. He's 0-for-1 on the day. Pajkos can finish him off here and face Kroos in the next inning with 2 outs and a man on first. McDonald watches that one inside, and it is inside. A fastball, 1-0. Boy, this umpire is not letting Jan have anything. If any part of it is outside the zone, all of a sudden. There's a pickoff attempt to first, but it's not in time. Tell me that's a strike. That screwball is called a strike. Maybe a little bit of a makeup call for some of the other ones. 1-1. He checks a swing in time on the screwball inside, 2-1. That's got to be a strike on the fastball. And can Pajkos wrap this up here? Not. He delays it by throwing a pickoff attempt again to first base, but Perez back in plenty of time, and then he does it again. They're almost encouraging him to run. They're taunting him. 2-2 pitch, and McDonald swings through it. Jan Pajkos has now finished 3 innings in a row with a swinging strikeout. This time on the fastball. We're through 3. The Navegadores still lead 1-0. Before we continue with this ball game, we will have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Louisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about Salvador Alcina's Golden Niceties. You know I love this sponsor. It's a military equipment establishment, a full assortment of sabers, swords, badges for officers of the Army and Navy, medals and decorations, insignia for revenue and telegraph officers, coats of arms, kepis, cockades, Teresian caps, regulation headgear for the Merchant Marine, Capitoline Guard, and other departments and offices of the insular government. Wool patches depicting coats of arms for flags, an assortment of sheet music, and, of course, conveniently, it is located in Plaza General Rojas, Puerto Rico. Now, Joe, I hear you have something to say about some of these supplies. Oh, he's not there. Everyone act natural until he gets back. I love the idea of just going down and getting some medals and decorations just because you feel like it. Get a nice shiny little set of brass buttons. You could put those on anything. Stolen Valor. Decorate your horse with fancy military awards. Whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Sabers and swords, but not machetes, because for those you have to come to the Carolina Stadium. The assortment of sheet music, I think because everything else about them is very military and patriotism, I'm imagining marches and things for military parades and holiday celebrations, but it could be anything, couldn't it? Any kind of sheet music, maybe the most popular sheet music of the day. Back when you had to go buy popular music and then have a friend who had a piano or something to play that music for you, and then you all learn the words. It must have been a strange time in music history. You have to get familiar with the popular songs. You don't just hear them somewhere.
What I find interesting about this shop is that it is a. I guess this wouldn't work in Spanish, but it is clearly a fop shop.
Okay, yes.
Because machetes would have been the regular edged weapon of the armies that won the independence of Puerto Rico
Mm.
from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, they don't sell that, as you pointed out. They sell swords and sabers.
Yes.
I'm imagining here as well, at this point in the insular government's lifetime, you've probably got militarized departments like, I think the mail was militarized during the American invasion.
That
So
makes sense.
it would probably still be like that at this point. But the most interesting thing, and this is something I learned today, or rather expanded on today, I may have mentioned that no matter what I looked up, I could not for the life of me figure out what a Theresian cap looks like. I
Is
know.
that
Hmm.
is that not the one that you wear in the French Revolution leading the people? That painting? Oh, I'm thinking of Phrygian cats. Never mind. Sorry.
Right. So no, because I do know where it was worn. It was worn by cadets at a set of military academies,
Okay.
but I cannot find a picture of the hat anywhere. And what I find very interesting about this is obviously they're named after the academy itself was named the Theresian Military Academy, Academia Militar Teresiana, after some Teresa or other, right? And what I
Mm-hmm.
learned today is I have a colleague who is wants to name a daughter of hers, a upcoming daughter of hers, Teresa,
Mm-hmm.
and may not be allowed to because she's Orthodox, and there is no Orthodox Saint Teresa. There are plenty of
Oh.
Catholic saints Teresa, and to be clear, she very much said like they might let me. I don't actually know yet, but I was looking it up, and I found out that the name Teresa, which seems like a good old fashioned Greek name to me, is
Yeah.
a from the Iberian Peninsula and not the one that's near Greece,
Oh.
that's it, near the Caucasus and so on. No, the Spain and Portugal Iberian Peninsula,
Wow.
and it is of unclear origin.
That's a real classic in language, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Hmm. So, does this give us any more clues? Are we looking for a Spanish or Portuguese style of hat, perhaps? We still don't know.
Exactly the opposite. What this means is that if your name is Teresa, you are a locus of mystery. And if you're Teresa of Avila or Teresa of Lisieux, you are a locus of religious mystery as well. But yes, I did know that it was a Spanish style of hat. That part, because that is where that military academy is, I believe.
Okay.
So that part I did know, but that's all I knew.
Okay. Hmm. I'm very curious about this hat now.
Same. That's the only thing I've been able to find out.
All right.
And it is it the fact that this, I mean, as Will in the chat knows, it is it seems to be very difficult to find pictures of a hat when you don't know what you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for.
True.
But
Oh,
this
I looked it up and I got Tyrolean hats. That's not the same
that's
thing.
not the
I know
same
about
thing
that.
at all. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I also got, and
Mm.
I knew that that is not the case. No cadet is walking around wearing that.
No.
We're just letting everybody know they should hop in and watch this game. Because honestly, this is so far this seems like exactly the kind of tense game that is a bear for us to call, but which hopefully is going to be very enjoyable for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, some of the says Will that he's being asked if the game is over, and hey, sometimes they have been by this point. Me, no, they're just talking about hats.
We
Then
do like
we
to talk
can
about
dig it.
hats. Oh, I imagine Salvador Alcina's establishment would have, a whole rack of different types of bird feathers that would be the one you would need to have exactly the right hat for your rank. You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
so many military hats they have a specific feather that they're associated with.
I do think that the Puerto Rican Army in specific, if you wore a feather in your hat, they would literally just insult you and tell you to get that
Call it
crap out of
macaroni.
there. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they'd be making fun of you.
I mean, they say that's what the original song's about anyway.
Fair. Anyway, so here we go. Top of the fourth. Nicodemo Caballero, 39 pitches over 3 innings. 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Faces Del Castillo, Valdez, and Balk. This seems familiar somehow. Frank Del Castillo, 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see if he feels like putting... Whoa! That is a swing and a half! He rockets that one all the way to the top of the wall in center field
Oh,
there.
man.
And Del Castillo, with his speed, should be around the bases as he lands
Yes.
safely into third with a leadoff first pitch triple.
Amazing. The crowd hates it. I love it.
That is his sixth triple of the postseason here. He couldn't let Rob Feaster have that. Boy.
Oh, so good.
What? If it's that few feet more, we're looking at a 2-0
Yeah.
lead. Still,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Here comes Benji Valdez, who is 1 for 1. So everybody, start your engines, I guess. De Castillo will not run on that one as Benji wants some of that first pitch glory and sends it right to Kroos, who is just going to take it unassisted back to first. Couple of steps there. Here comes Wally Balk. He's over 1. He's been somewhat efficient at getting runs in with those long fly balls. Can he do it here again? Man on third and 1 out for him. Ooh, that's sinker again. Hey, here comes C. Seiler. Hello. Here's hoping your good luck powers activate soon here as that fastball away misses ball 1. Wally Balk swings late on that, and it's a fastball low, 2-0. Oh, so the umpire just hates low fastballs.
Mm-hmm.
See there? That's a fastball called strike, 2-1. Hits that one into left field, but that looks like it's going to fall foul. And sure enough, it does. Once again, De Castillo and Pedro Ramirez here doing the same thing. Just kind of the annoying human echo strikes again.
I love it. It's very good. It's like that Spider-Man meme.
Exactly. I would love it if Frank De Castillo is turning around and going, "See, this is what you look like." C. Seiler says, this is the only sports I watch. Well, you know what? We're very flattered. 2-2 count. Swings on that one, lifts him to right field. Orguin should have it, but I wonder if they'll run De Castillo there. Do they?
Fired it off quick.
Nope. So it falls to Ham Underwood to try and cash in on this triple. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Can he punch one through and make it happen? No. He swings on that first pitch. Uh-huh.
Who caught that? Olgin? After he caught it, how come he fired it to first so quickly when he'd already caught the guy out?
Because he wanted to prevent the sac fly. Once he had caught the ball, De Castillo could run for home.
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense.
So the side is retired. The Navegadores get a big hit, but that's all they get, and they remain in the lead 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the fourth. Will says, in the past 12 months, I've watched more LMP games than MLB. One day, many single digits of people will be saying that. We hope. It's probably already true about single digits of people. One day we hope many double digits of people are saying that.
That's right. There are dozens of us.
That's right. Careful now. Anyway, in the bottom of the fourth, the Pajkos, 47 pitches over 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And by the way, let's remember that the Navegadores have an entire bullpen at their disposal. Carolina has a few guys. If you have seen Game 4, you know that they refuse to use them.
Yes, ironic that they don't use their arm barn.
Yep. Well, they're hacking the arms off by overuse.
Clearly.
Anyway, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts, and he'll face Cross, Espinosa, and Ramirez. Cross is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. I don't think that's how this is going to end, though. Nope, that goes to Shirley. He's got it. Throws overhand to first, and Cross's attempt to go for a ground ball here doesn't work for him at all. Change up away, and he hits it right to second base. Here comes Espinosa, who is 1 for 1. He singled back in the second inning. Pajkos here. Oh, Espinosa sends that one down the foul line. And it'll fall on the wrong side. As they say in Spanish, it lands in the dirty territory. That sounded way less horrible in my head. 0-1 count. Swings through the next pitch, which is a fastball. Let's see if Pajkos wants to finish him off here on the 2-strike, or if he's going to play a little bit with it. Well, neither column A nor column B. It's a fly out. Big can of corn there for Shirley. He picks it up with the glove, and it's out number 2. Pajkos will now face Pedro Ramirez, who is 0 for 1 on the day. 2 outs, base is empty. Says, well, we are Legion.
That's right.
Stonehand did not want that fastball there, but that's where he got it. 1-0. Can Pajkos maybe work his way back into the zone here? Nope. That's the fastest pitch we've seen from him, 157 kilometers an hour, and Ramirez does not offer at it. If Pajkos is beginning to lose the zone, that could be trouble. But there he goes. He's back in for a strike, 2-1. Can he build on that, get himself back into this at-bat? Shirley, he's got it. Throws to first, and what a play. That usually results in just a roller to right field, but it's an easy out there with his superior defense. The Navegadores remain out in front, 1-0. As we are through 4 innings, says C. Seiler. I was wondering, so now I know. Bullpen dates back to at least 1877. Fun fact, because it's where you warm up. In Spanish, it's called el fogón, the oven.
Nice.
Or possibly closer to like fire pit. I'm not sure.
That's good.
Personally, I am the only person who really liked Arm Barn, unironically. I shouldn't say I'm the only person. I'm one of like 3 people, because the thing about it is, reliever, bullpen guy, whatever. Arm Barner is electric as a title.
Yes. It is.
Says Cesar Polon. I'll type it into the chat. Fogón. From fuego, meaning fire. Which is what you're throwing when you're in the bullpen. Nothing but heaters, am I right?
Yeah.
Top of the 5th. Here comes Nicodemo Caballero. 47 pitches over 4 innings. 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. No strikeouts. Stonehand, Feaster, and Shirley. Let's see if they can get anything going, if they can build on those extra base hits they've been getting. Stonehand chops that one foul. A fastball behind him, 0-1. Misses inside with a sinker, 1-1. Stonehand hits that one down the foul line. Well hit, but foul. As the Carolina fans scream at the fact that he hit grass with it. 1-2 count. Can he finish off Stonehand? Most likely. Oh, he hit him!
Oh, man. Not cool.
Stonehand tries to get away from it, but he'll be on base. And here comes Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 2 on the day. It would be great if you could get something across here. Unfortunately, with the runner on first, he hit 183. That's probably because the runner ahead of him was Stonehand. Feaster bounces that one to Cross, who throws to second and retires the lead runner. So I think my theory is in fact correct.
Yeah.
Ramos, unfortunately, can't throw to first, and that'll put Feaster on base for Shirley, who's 1 for 2 with a ribby. Let's see if they want to try stealing with Feaster. Harrison can't get the ball out of his hand in time, and that is going to be stolen base. Number 19 for Rob Feaster on a cutter strike. I believe, if I remember correctly, one more will tie the record Benji Valdez set last year.
Ooh, exciting.
0-1 count. Cutter misses down and in, 1-1. Next pitch. There goes Feaster, and he should be out easily there. Yes, he is. And I don't even know why they tried that, but it's 2 outs and the bases are empty now. I really wish, if there are any members of the Out of the Park development team listening right now, and hey, welcome viewers as you join us. We're in the top of the 5th. It's a 1-2 count, 2 outs, bases empty for the Navegadores battling against the Tumbabrazos, Game 5 of the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño, as the Navegadores look to end it and the Tumbabrazos look to extend it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wish there were separate sliders for stealing and for stealing third.
Is that the tough one?
Yeah. 1-2 count. Sherlew bounces that one there to Ramirez. He's got it, throws overhand. And see, if that had been out number 2, you still have options.
Yeah.
But instead, the Tumbabrazos face only 3 batters there, and Pajkos goes back to work with just a 1-run lead. That's the bad news. The good news is that Holguin, Ramos, and Harrison are the 3 guys he has to get through. Says Will, is there anything to bet on tonight without loony around clocking people? Hey, he didn't hit a guy, okay? Last time? Last 2 times, I think.
Yeah, 2 times in a row. What more can you ask for?
Here, I know what we can do here.
Let me get my phone so I can vote too.
Yep. Will, oh, jeez. What is going on here? Oh, I see. Okay.
I like to bet big because I've got so many paces.
Will Joseph Kroos hit home run number 14 tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna give you a couple. We're gonna give you about, let's say, 5 minutes to put in your bets. The prediction tonight is whether Joseph Kroos is gonna hit home run number 14 before the end of the game. And while we're here, we might as well change out what the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño game is. Because it's Game 5, not Game 3. We messed that up somehow. At any rate.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay. We figured it out. All right. Luis Holguin, OPS of 537. He had a sack hit last time. Pajkos, 55 pitches, still 1 walk, still 4 strikeouts over 4 innings. Here we go. Holguin hits that one into left field. That's going to land fair. And it'll bounce all the way out to Vidal Santiago. Let's see if Holguin wants to try for second. He does not. They don't trust the runner. So he'll be on first to open the inning, and there's no outs for Edwino Ramos, who is 0 for 1. He struck out last time he came up. Here. Looks like he fouls off that screwball, 0-1. Fouls off that fastball, 0-2. Can he finish him here? 2 strikes. Ramos in the hole. Ramos pops that one up, and maybe the Naves are picking up a trick or two, because I certainly feel like we've seen a lot more cans of corn from the Tumbabrazos this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Feaster puts that one away, and it's out number 1. Here comes Howell Harrison, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Interestingly, swinging on the first pitch, he's hitting just 103. Holguin on first with 1 out. Harrison hits that one hard to Valdez. He's got it. Throws to first, and that's out number 2. Nice play there to knock it down to his left on the dive. It's a great play there. A 5-star defensive effort from the shortstop, as that otherwise would have certainly been enough to advance Holguin to third. Holguin makes it to second, and here comes Ricardo Cano, who's 0 for 2. So not out of the woods yet, our boy Jan, as Cano is a dangerous hitter, and he has been held so far very much under control. Strike 1 there. Cano doesn't like the call, but it was right down the middle. So if he's angry at anybody, it should be him for not swinging on 1. How many times are you going to play that charge call? Jeez. Bounces that to Valdez. throws to first, and Jan works his way out of the yam. As we are through 5, the Navegadores remain ahead 1-0. You don't have to humor me. You can say that was bad. We all know it.
I feel like you need the encouragement to blossom into making better puns.
And better puns. That's an interesting adjective to what that's encouraging me towards.
It's true.
Nicodemo Caballero, 56 pitches over 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Faces Vidal Santiago, who is 0 for 1 plus a walk on the day. He also faced Salmeron and Del Castillo, as that sinker is up and away, 1-0. A Superman sinker, up and away.
Ooh.
Santiago holds up on the fastball, and it'll be 2-0. They're finally starting to figure out that the umpire hates those low pitches. Mm-hmm. Slaps that one foul. 2-1. Fastball that time as well. As Caballero misses with a cutter. Oh, pardon me. It was a sinker that he fouled off. But it'll be a gentleman hitter's count after that cutter. 3-1. Santiago, I believe, just did him a huge favor there. No, it looks like that was in the zone. Wonder. But it'll be a full count, and you know what that means.
Here we go.
This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo!
Caballero rears back, throws, and Santiago hits it right back to Joey Kroos, who steps on first, and that's out number 1. So a good at-bat from Vidal, but a bad result at the end. Here comes Pablo Salmeron, who's 0 for 2. And boy, he's got to get something going, or he's going to suffer the embarrassment of getting pulled for Declan Milne, a guy who's hitting under 200 in the postseason.
Oh, terrible. 1
out, and the base is empty for him. See if we can make something happen. As Salmeron almost, he has to get his hands out of the way of that one. It's ball 1. Lefty on lefty here. Salmeron hits that one. Does it get past him? And it does! It makes it past Espinosa, and Rodillon has his first base hit of the game. That'll put a man on, and not a particularly fast one for Frank Del Castillo here, who's 1 for 2. And, boy, did I just hear a guy say, no way?
Did you?
I think I did. That's pretty incredible. I know that there is a way to get audience audio into this game in some way, shape, or form. And I'm beginning to think I should have Puerto Rican friends of mine record audio. Except I feel like that might put us in Twitch violation.
Is Salmeron going to try to steal, though, is the question.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. I see he's bad at it. That doesn't mean he won't. Okay.
I think he's been explicitly told not to. Like, ever.
Good. Okay, good.
Having said that, he does have a couple stolen bases, so we'll see. Here comes Frank Del Castillo. Hits that one. It's a ground ball to Kroos. He throws to second. Del Castillo! Does he beat the throw? He does! It's a fielder's choice.
All right.
So he'll at least be safe, though God knows how long he'll still be on the base paths, as here comes Benji Valdez, who's 1 for 2 on the night. Man on first and 2 outs. Boy, that's why you don't swing at the first pitch with men on base, Frank. What did I just say? See, he swings right through that sinker, which the umpire almost certainly would have called a ball. 0-1. The Castillo gets back to first base there on the pickoff throw. 0-1. Benji watches that cutter miss. Up and in. 1-1. Pickoff throw attempt again. Del Castillo back on that one. Benji hits that one not quite past Ramirez. He'll throw to second. And the Navegadores end up wasting another couple runners here, as Ramirez makes a great play there. They strand another one, and Pajkos back to work in the bottom of the 6th. This is the complete opposite of the last game that he closed out. Mm-hmm. Last year when he closed out Game 5, by this point they were ahead something like 6-0. Mm. And this time, boy, they are just not cashing in any of these chances, and they're eventually going to pay for that.
Yeah.
We're going to start warming up Kareem Onbar, and, pardon me. Can't go to Varela this early. No, not Big Jack at all. Do we trust Chet Hancock? He fell so completely apart against the Cuervos that he allowed 4 runs, but those were mostly on errors because of the rain.
Okay. I know you've warmed him up before, yeah.
We're gonna put him in. Hopefully we won't need either of them, as Pajkos here will face Perez, McDonald, and Crows. Perez has so far been his real pet noir today, as he has given up a hit and a walk to Juan Perez. Perez immediately swings on that one and hits it foul. That was a curveball, sends it to his teammates in the dugout. 0-1. What a nice guy. Pops him up into foul territory. Stonehand chasing it down as his feaster. Will that make the stands? No, it won't. For the first time today, Juan Perez will not reach first base. That's out number 1, and now we'll have Connor McDonald up to bat. Oh, interesting. So I see 71% of the pesos de pelota here have been bet against Joey Crows, hitting home run number 14.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens. Connor McDonald, 0 for 2 on the day, including a strikeout or 2. Pajkos so far seems to have his number, as that fastball is low, 1-0. Is this McDonald's first year in Carolina? I believe it is. Yes, he was traded over from Vega Alta, where he faced Naguabo before. McDonald misses a fastball, 1-1. Vega Alta did a massive fire sale over the past 2 years. All of their great international players, McDonald, Cameron Clark, and I'm trying to remember who was the other. Well, Alfie Allen have all
Yes.
started pitching for other teams, or playing for other teams, I should say, via trade. And I would say the return for most of them has not been incredible. It's a 1-2 count. Can he finish him off again? He does! Connor McDonald swings and misses through a screwball, and that's why you have one, so you can use it against lefties. So it'll be 2 outs and the base is empty, and here comes Joey Crows with another chance to hit that home run. He's 0 for 2 so far, with a strikeout and a ground out. 2 outs, base is empty. Pajkos opens him up with a strike, a fastball, 0-1. Crows swings and misses through a curveball. He's 0-2 in the hole. Can Pajkos finish him off? Not so fast. He misses low and inside with that screwball. 1-2. Stonehand letting him play a little bit around the zone. And, okay, maybe a little bit too much. A fastball at Crows' feet. 2-2. Crows' feet.
Nice.
Anyway, it's a 2-2 count. How is that not a strike?
Yeah.
All right, it'll be a full count against Joseph Crows, so you know what that means. This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo.
I'm going to have to start using a voice changer if this happens again.
Yep.
Crows hits that one hard, but foul, as everybody who bet on the yes releases their breath simultaneously. Payoff pitch number 2. Can he do it? Can he win this fight? Crows hits that one far, hits that one deep. Then Castillo chasing it down, and he's got it. It's a fly out.
Amazing.
The Tumbabrazos, after all that Sturm und Drang, go down cleanly. And Onbar and Hancock sit down. We are through 6. The Navegadores holding on to the thinnest of leads, a single run, before we head into the bottom of the game. Another word from our friends over at Rico and Company.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about a new sponsor. We have Kananga. Elegant ladies are always eager to find a distinguished perfume different from the mass-produced stuff so common in today's perfumery business. A scent that can serve as a kind of aristocratic hallmark. In this, we think we've rendered them a true service by recommending Rigaud and Company's Kananga, based on extract of ylang ylang. The fragrance, which is rich and deep, with notes of rubber and custard, and bright with hints of jasmine and neroli, boasts unprecedented delicacy and persistence, exudes a wonderful variety of scents, and outdoes the most well-known brands such as S. Bouquet, Jockey Club, Violetta, etc. Kananga functions as an extract for handkerchiefs, which has recently been adopted by Her Majesty, Empress Eugenie of France. An eau de toilette preferable to the best vinegars and colognes. A delicious scent for baths, which tightens the flesh and imparts to it softness and freshness. Used in compresses, it dissipates headaches, migraines, and neuralgia. It removes blemishes and stains and sunburn from skin and calms rashes. It is the only true perfume. Its label carries its origin, and its back label carries the name of the firm, Rigaud and Company. This is very interesting. I read this as I saw it, so I did not know I was going to say it has notes of rubber and custard. That is challenging. Those are challenging scents to have in a perfume, I think. Well, let's be honest. Rubber is challenging. Custard? That smells good. I wouldn't mind smelling like a nice vanilla custard.
Apparently, Kananga, right? The name of it is
Yes.
the genus name for ylang ylang.
Oh,
So
wow,
that's where it
okay.
gets its name.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I. This is still. I don't know if it's still made by the same people, but there is such a thing as Kananga water cologne that still exists.
Oh, okay. I'm very curious now to what it smells like.
Mm-hmm.
Rubber and custard, apparently, with hints of jasmine and neroli.
Yes. Do you know what neroli is? That was the only one that I didn't get time to look up.
I do. I don't know exactly, but it's one of those, they tend to call them things like dark florals, where it's like a really heavy, pervasive scent. It kind of takes over. That's what I know about it.
Interesting.
I couldn't really tell you what it smells like exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
This game is officially on tension watch. 3 innings here, too.
Nice.
Trying to remember if the Nagas have any. Oh, yeah, the Enchumbaos. That's their other nickname. The drenched ones.
Oh, yes. Was that when we were talking about Game of Thrones? Like the drowned
Exactly.
god?
Yeah,
That
yep.
stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That is the actual nickname, by the way, for people from Naguabo. Enchumbaos.
Oh, really? They get a lot of rain there, do they?
I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been to Naguabo proper. I've been to Macau. I've been to most of the other towns there, and I've seen Naguabo from places that I have been. I don't know that I have
Okay.
ever been in the town of Naguabo.
I was going to say, we know it's a port, of course, but on an island, there are a lot of ports.
Yes, you might almost say an island is almost made of nothing but ports in a way.
Yes, that's true. Although we have some landlocked teams, don't we?
That is true. Yes. In fact, we have a lot of landlocked teams. I wouldn't even say I haven't counted, but I get the feeling that it might be almost even between the two.
Yeah, that's nice.
No, that can't be right. There are two. There's at least 3 or 4 towns in the middle that are huge in terms of geographical area.
Okay, in
So
the mountains.
yeah, so there's got to be an imbalance there, but I don't know how much of one there is.
Ah,
Guess that's a challenge for later. All right, here we go. Top of the seventh, Nicodemo Caballero, 68 pitches over 6 innings. Both pitchers have been actually incredibly efficient so far. 5 hits, an earned run, a walk, and no strikeouts. And he'll face Balk, Underwood, and Stonehand. Balk is over 2 against him today. He's another one who could get pulled for Milne if this keeps going, as he misses that sinker 0-1. As Milne can't play third. Boy, rinse and repeat. Misses the forkball in the same spot, 0-2. And Caballero just appears to have the human record's number here. Got him in the hole. Will he finish him off? Ooh. He throws that fastball. The umpire doesn't like it and gives him the ball. 1-2. Tries again. Balk hits that one down the right field line, but it's foul, so we'll stay at 1-2. As it bounces off the wall there. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed in the chat some discussion of whether rubber blooms perhaps have a good scent. Maybe. I would not know. That's a good thought.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
1-2 count. Balk bounces that one to Crows. He takes it unassisted, and we have seen far, far too many of those in this game. Just a complete inability to deploy power on those batted balls, with the exception of, the triples. Almost everybody else is just having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
Yep. Here comes Ham Underwood, who's over 2. 1 out, base is empty, as Caballero is now at 73 pitches.
Come on, Ham.
Underwood hits that one hard, but it's foul. 0-1. Boy, are you mad at your pitcher for a foul ball?
They're just mad in general.
Carolina fans, I thought, were way more chill than this. And Ham punches one through. That'll be a base hit into center field. And he'll be on first after that. Boy, he took a big lead there. And then ran back to first. Let's see if he tries for second. As here comes Spike Stonehand, who is 0-1 plus a hit by pitch. Oh boy, Stonehand watches that inside, and Underwood is out at second. Howell Harrison, great throw to second. And that's a caught stealing. So Hancock and Allenbar get back in the pen. Actually, it looks like we won't need them to be back in the pen until the inning is over. They're already ready to go. So Stonehand now with 2 outs and the base is empty has to, well, make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, I guess. And he doesn't. It is safe to say. Long, long fly out there to Orguin, and he pulls it in. Pajkos is going to hold this lead, going to try and hold this lead into the bottom of the 7th. With Hancock and Allenbar in the pen, he will face Espinosa, Ramirez, and Orguin. Espinosa is 1-for-2 against him on the day. We are in. Fastball is in there for strike 1, 0-1. And that is going to be, they call it an unchecked swing. They say he went around, but frankly, I just think that's a strike. It would have been one whether he'd swung or not, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Espinosa now in the hole. Can Pajkos finish him off here? Whoa, that's a base hit and a half. Espinosa leading off the inning with a dangerous hit here, as he will probably pull into second there, and the tying run will be in scoring position already.
Oh, wow.
Do we go to the pen? That's a question.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you thinking pitchers?
I am. He's not tired, is the thing. It's putting somebody else in wouldn't really change anything, I don't think. Let's see what he can do against. Let's take it batter by batter.
Okay.
Natalino Diaz comes in. He is 3 for 10 in the postseason. He has not gotten a hit in any of the 3 games he's played against Naguabo. So that gives us some hope here that he can be corralled. Also, let's see here at home. He hit 254. Overall average of about 259. So he didn't do radically better at home or anything. He batted 7 for 27 as a pinch hitter during the season. As that curveball misses low. Natalino Diaz, by the way, number 22. Forgot to mention that. Called strike. Fastball. Inside. 1-1. He swings through that one. It is a fastball. 1-2. Let's see if Pajkos can finish him off here. Get the out he needs. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be lifted into center field. And that's a decision that did not pay off. Espinosa should easily score. No, he doesn't. They hold him at third.
Oh.
And Holguin, who already has a base hit, will get the chance to be the hero here.
Out of this one.
Okay, let's see here. Yep. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 10, Kareem Anbar. Over the postseason, he has thrown 14 innings, has an ERA of 0.64, 23 strikeouts to 6 walks, and that strikeout total is why he's here. He tends to get guys out at the plate, and we need that right now. Slider and sinker guy, ground baller, side armor. This should be interesting. And they have responded by switching out for pinch hitter number 93, Aubrey Handrahan. You may remember that they stood him in at shortstop last time that they did this, which led directly to the Navegadores winning the game.
Yeah.
This is a high percentage play they're doing, as he is 3 for 12 in the postseason, but one of those hits is a home run. So this ought to be interesting. Do you remember if they switched out for Handrahan before I... Oh, my lord. That's a base hit. Exactly the thing you weren't expecting from Handrahan. And one pitch in, Kareem Anbar allows the tying run to score. The Tumbabrazos are even here, and it's 2-on and no outs for him, with Edwino Ramos up to bat. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and that decision did not pay off. Let's see what happens here. Boy, he really tricked them there by going for the base hit on the ground rather than in the air. There we go. That's a good play from Balk to get one out at least. Edwino Ramos there hit that one to Balk. He took it, launched it to first, and got one out at least. But the go-ahead run is at third with just a one out. So they've got to prevent Howell Harrison from getting this ball any distance at all. He's over 2 on the day. Let's see if Anbar can strike him out, get the cheap out he needs here, and get out of this inning without much further damage. That sinker is in there, strike one. That slider misses, 1-1. Are they going to call that? They say that sinker missed. Fair enough. That is hit hard to second base. Sherdlu throws to first after pump faking home. So there's nothing they can do there. Harrison out by a step, and he will now face pinch hitter number 24, Alfonso Renteria. This is an interesting move because he is 1 for 7 in the postseason, and he also has not gotten a hit.
Maybe he says he can really do it this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can see the word, and that's interesting. He says he got censored for saying C-R-A-P.
Oh.
But I can see it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it too. Weird.
2 on, 2 outs. Renteria watches that one miss. The slider, he checks the swing, 1-0. He swings right through the sinker, 1-1. Misses with the slider, 2-1. Renteria chops that one foul, so Anbar needs one more strike here. Will he get it, is the question. Misses inside, and this is a full count here. Oh, so you saw there says it's censored there. I wonder why it's not censored for you, Louisa.
Yeah, I wonder that too.
Huh.
I certainly don't have any special access.
All right, here we go. Full count. This will be a payoff pitch. He got him on the paint.
Oh, man.
What was that? A sinker. Just barely in the zone there. It twirled back in, and he gets him for the strikeout. And after all that, he manages to escape with a tie. He'll have blown the save, of course, but hey, it's something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll head into the top of the 8th with both teams tied 1-1, and the Naves certainly have the advantage if this becomes a battle of the bullpens. Rob Feaster, 1 for 3, Shirley and Santiago behind him to face Nicodemo Caballero, who through 7 innings has thrown 77 pitches, has allowed 6 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 walk. As the chocolate and peanut butter uniforms here get all set.
Yes.
Forkball on the inside, 0-1. It does look, you're right, they do look a little bit like you and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge fly ball from Rob Feaster. Skied over short right field. Espinosa has it, and that's out number 1. That's not what you wanted there. Here comes Shirley, who's 1 for 3 with a ribby.
It's funny that the score is the same all the way across.
Indeed. That sinker is called a strike when it's not. 0-1. He hits that one into left field, but that'll be foul. 0-2. So he'll land in the 2-strike hole here. Let's see if Caballero can finish him off. He does not. He misses low and away. Sinker, 1-2 now. That obviously missed because otherwise he'd be sitting down right now. So 4 sinkers, 2-2. He hits that one. It's another fly ball, long and floating and down the left field line and foul, and it's down. Perez really did let that one go. Maybe he felt a little bit bad about the gentlemanliness of his earlier play. Mm-hmm. By the way, there have been defensive substitutions. Number 5, Theo Boyce, now at third base, which, boy, he's really gotten bad at his primary position. He used to be a third baseman. Mark Conroy, number 29, now in center field, and number 11, Inocencio Quesada in right, which is where Shirley should try to hit it.
Is it unusual to substitute out so many players in one game?
Yes, if it's not an elimination game, which this is. So
yeah.
He hits that one down the left field line. I'm guessing that one's also going foul, and I am correct. So Shirley at least is forcing some pitches out of Caballero. That's the 6th pitch of this at-bat. But yeah, I think especially the Boyce move, it's like the hand-to-hand move from a few games ago, putting him at shortstop, not smart. Mm-hmm. With 1 out this close to the end of the game, who knows? You're basically playing the percentage that he will not matter. Forkball goes by him for a ball, and that's a full count. So once again, this will be a payoff pitch. I'm just going to have to loop back around to being higher pitched.
Yes.
Misses with a fastball, and the go-ahead run is aboard. That is Shirley's 11th walk of the postseason. And for the first time, I think I agree with the fans here. Here comes Vidal Santiago, who's 0 for 2 on the day. He had a walk, and he hits that one foul. 0-1. That got exciting for about a second. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing those are Naves fans who are annoyed.
Yep.
He does not swing on that forkball. 1-1.
You have to drown their troubles with cotton candy.
There you go. Cutter misses 2-1. Hits that one hard. Hits that one into center field, and it lands. Shirley will make it to second as Conroy brings in the ball, and the go-ahead run will be in scoring position. Now, Pablo Salmeron has the chance to do the funniest thing, as he is 1 for 3 on the day, and coming up big here would really seal the deal as far as his legend goes. 2 on and 1 out. What is that going to be called? Forkball is called a strike. 0-1.
Darn it.
He swings right through the next pitch, which is another forkball at the same time at the same location. 0-2. And boy, Pablito, you are just not having a good one out here. Pops him up.
Yeah, they're getting that one.
Mm-hmm. Espinosa once again catches the fly, and that's out number 2.
Boy.
So we'll have Hancock and Varela in the pen. And here comes Frank de Castillo, who's 1 for 3 on the day. We could sure use one of those magic triples right about now. And I think Frank knows it, which is the danger. Ball misses. That cutter misses away. 1-0. That fastball misses inside. 2-0. If you're Nicodemo Caballero, you don't give Frank anything to hit here.
No.
And he does it anyway as he swings on that one and lifts it, but Conroy will be there in plenty of time to catch it.
Oh, man.
And
That's
they
so
strand
close.
another 2 runners.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
We go into the bottom of the 8th, and as Varela starts warming, Anbar will be allowed to get at least a couple batters into this one because they're lefties. He will face Juan Perez, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Anbar had a hit and an unearned run, or rather the run was not charged to him, with a strikeout over 1 inning, 12 pitches. So Kroos will get another chance to try and hit that home run number 14. As Perez fouls that one off. 0-1. Says Will, looks like the censoring is a local option. Glad I discovered that. I may need it the way this is looking.
Good call.
1-1. Ambar, for some reason, not challenging his fellow lefty as he misses again with a sinker. 2-1. Misses again. Oh, they called that a strike. Interesting. 2-2 count. And let's see what's going to happen here. Will he go for the K? And will he get it, more importantly? He does, and he does. Strikes him out swinging on 5 successive sinkers.
Nice.
And now we'll face Connor McDonald, who's 0 for 3. 1 out, bases empty. McDonald does not go on that sinker, 1-0. Nor on that slider, 2-0. Anbar suddenly very recalcitrant to go after the batter here, although he does again bury that one and get that called strike, 2-1. McDonald fouls that one off. Huge favor to Anbar, who I think, yeah, that would have been ball 3 almost certainly. So instead, with a 2-2 count, can he get another K here? Not quite yet. He fouls it off. Can he do it? Anbar here. He gets him, rings him up, and that's strike 3. That's the 20th strikeout for Connor McDonald, and the 26th for Kareem Anbar. And here's my question to you. Do we leave him in?
I do like him. Do you think anyone else can actually do better, or are you just afraid he's going to do worse?
Joseph Kroos is a little bit... Everyone's saying yes, so we're not... He's staying. But for the record, the reason why is that his movement is worse against righties.
Oh, I see.
A lot worse against righties, actually. And Kroos is better against lefties. But I think he's on a hot streak. I'm going to ride the hot hand here. 2 outs, bases empty.
All right, yeah. Plus, Gross got 100 pesos riding on him.
Exactly.
Getting another home run.
That's right. Sinker is in there for a strike. 0-1.
Ooh, a strike.
He doesn't swing on that one. It's sinker. 1-1. I think it's... I will say... Oh, boy. That's rising, and it arcs down. Vidal Santiago will be there, and he's got it. Kareem Anbar pitches
Amazing.
his way out of trouble once again. Beautiful work from the Tunisian on a mission. And Will says, too bad, Joe Crow.
What were you going to say before? You were going to say something.
I don't
Did he hit
remember.
it?
Got too excited.
Hit the ball. Okay.
Before he hit the ball?
No, well, yes, just before. It's fine. It'll come back.
I don't remember. Top of the ninth, Valdez, Balk, and Underwood will face Nicodemo Caballero, who's had 97 pitches over 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. Very unusual that not one Navegador has struck out yet.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's almost, you almost wish they did. Because then then maybe they'd get a run across in one of those.
Yeah, they get fired up.
Yeah, Valdez is 1 for 3. He had a double a while back, and we'd certainly take another one of those right now. Ball inside, that sinker 1-1. Anbar staying in for that is a big help because it means Varela can take the bottom of the ninth. And oh boy, Valdez grounds out to Espinosa, who throws over to first, and that's out number 1. A fork ball there. Here comes Wally Balk, who's over 3 on the day. Can he get into the hit column today? As that cutter misses up, 1-0. Caballero maybe getting a little bit wilder as we get through this game. He misses low with a fastball, 2-0. But I gotta give Carolina something here. A lot of credit. They have not given the Navegadores any easy chances. There haven't been errors. There haven't been bases loaded with walks. Mm-hmm. Everything has been exactly as it should be. 2 good teams facing each other, playing good ball.
Yes.
It's a hitter's count on Wally Balk. Will Caballero go for that gentleman's strike? He will. Balk does not swing at it, unlike this man's teammate Juan Perez. That's 3-1. Here comes the at-bat. Balk hits that one up the middle. Conroy not getting to that. And Wally Balk's first hit of the night puts him on base.
The crowd hates it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. We might be...
Time to pull out all the stops.
He's not that much faster, is the thing.
Darn.
He's certainly... I would say he's a comparable third... He's not a comparable third baseman. And we do have Chenda. What I need is a fast runner.
Uh-oh.
Pinch running for Wally Balk on first base. Number 2, Ted Balloon.
Amazing.
Graham Underwood at the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Let's see if he can get something going against him here. And let's see, no, Ham's still better against lefties than Felix Bucar would be. All right, let's see if this works out. If this does, this is gonna be hilarious. Says Will, and he will somehow manage to hit someone. Yes, correct. With 1 out and a man on first, here comes Ham. As Ted has to get back. Oh, so now you know how it feels, buddy. Ted has to get back to first base there on the pickoff attempt.
Boy.
First pitch to him. And Ted is going to be out by a mile at second base.
Ted, you had to walk out of the dugout with everyone on the team turning their eyes to you, saying, "You're in here now, Ted. You're going to do this for us." And that's what you did?
Unbelievable. I'm going to make the same sound I did while grading the other day. I take it that did not pass through.
I heard it. It didn't register to me.
It was meant to be the Price is Right losing horn.
Oh, I see, yes.
All right, with 2 outs and the base is empty, Ham Underwood. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what he gets done. Spanked foul there. 1-1 count. Could still be something. Underwood hits that one into left field, so the inning will continue.
Nice.
Nicely done. Unfortunately, this means Spike Stonehand comes to the plate. Jeez.
The crowd is furious.
Here comes Spike Stonehand. Wow.
I have to imagine he came out with both birds blazing.
He will be if he gets this run in. Are you serious?
Ham! I love you, but no! How could you do it?
Neither Naguabo is unable to score in any of that.
Yeah.
And Chendasu will now be at third base for the Navegadores. Number 43, making his major league debut.
Nice.
You can tell he used to be a Maldito because he's wearing the red shoes for that team.
Oh, I love that.
Anbar, I'm tempted to let him try and keep cooking and save the rest of the pen as far as we can.
Yeah.
So he'll face at least Espinosa, and we'll go from there. Espinosa is 2 for 3 on the day. The base coaching in this game has been incredibly suspect. As he swings right through at sinker, 0-1. Misses. Oh, hello! That is a sinker on the paint. 0-2. Espinosa in the hole. Can Ambar finish him off? Nope, he fouls that last one off. Seasider says defense, with fence being a fencer. That's going to be an infield hit as Valdez has it. Throws to first. Yep, just barely. Espinosa will have his third hit of the night, and the go-ahead run will be on first. Here comes Theo Boyce, who is taking his first cuts here. He is 1 for 4 during the postseason. He had 2-2-3 with 1 on and no outs. Sinker misses inside, 1-0. Yes, we lasted long enough. Franchise Time Machine is rating. Welcome, viewers. You are joining us in the bottom of the ninth as the Tumbabrazos de Carolina have a shot at winning their first game in the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. They've got the go-ahead run on first with no outs against Kareem Anbar, one of the best relievers in the entire league, as he's quickly trying to nail this save down, or at least this one. Says Franchise Time Machine, is there enough time for a vintage ad read? Well, if he closes out this inning, there will have to be.
Yes, that's right.
Louisa, do we have one left in the document for this?
No, but I will go back to our older document and I will read a classic.
Excellent. All right, he misses with a slider, 2-1. Boyce. Oh, Anbar misses with a sinker. This is not characteristic here. It's a 3-1 count. And let's see, is Varela ready to go? Because he's the only person I can think of who can do this. Oh, that is bunted, and he's got it. Anbar makes the catch there on the bunt attempt, and they can't advance the runner. Here comes lefty number 11, Inocencio Quesada. Okay, hang on. Nope, that's the wrong team.
Yeah, put some worse guys in for Carolina.
I mean, they're doing that themselves. Here comes number 11, Inocencio Quesada, who is yet to hit in the postseason. I don't know if I would have gone for a lefty here, but sure, why not? He throws him a sinker and gets it on 1. Quesada tries the sac hit. The go-ahead run will move to second, I think, as Sue No! The go-ahead run will make it to third as Sue throws it away. Quite nervous there. And that is going to end Kareem Anbar's outing. We'll bring in new pitcher number... I would love to remember his number off the top of my head, but I don't. Number 41, perhaps? Number 41, Hector Varela, comes in with runners. Says, will the Navis deserve to lose this one? And you are correct. They do. Hector Varela has pitched 10 2/3 innings during the postseason, 9 hits allowed, 200 runs, 1 walk to 8 strikeouts, and a win, an ERA of 1.69. Another sinker-slider guy, but from the right side of the plate. He will face Eduino Ramos, who is 0 for 3 on the night.
Come on.
Chenda Su's first play at third base, a position he is supposed to be the master of, is an error. Rough.
Oh, the only error.
As they say, the ball will always find you, and that is a fly out to right field, but it should be long enough. They're going to throw to... Oh, my Lord, they did not send the runner on that.
Wow.
So he'll get a chance here with Quesada and Espinosa on second and third. Nicolas Maldonado, who was also not hit in the postseason, Perhaps because he is a 36-year-old man who is not very good at baseball anymore.
He looks so sad.
He does. He will have a chance here to bring in the run. And
What
they put him on with an intentional walk.
Just to make things interesting, huh?
Loading the bases with 2 outs to face Mark Conroy. This is how you get... Wait, I seem to remember Mark Conroy being involved in this series before. What did he do that time? I wonder if they put... He didn't do anything, so he didn't take an at-bat. But
Weird.
this feels like how you lose the game, right here. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, bases loaded. They've just put on a worse hitter via intentional walk. Sinker is in there, 0-1. Popped up. You have got to be kidding me. Valdez will have that one. And it's official, gente. We are in free baseball territory. The Tumbabrazos has turned to strand a bunch of runners as they remain tied through the regulation 9. So there is, in fact, time for those of you who came in with Franchise Time Machine's rating party. There will be time for a vintage ad read before I step out of the booth and let Luisa handle this. I will remind you, these are real ads from a real newspaper called the Boletín Mercantil de Puerto Rico. It was published on the island, from 1871, actually, the same year as the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña began existing, until about 1915, if I remember correctly. And like I say, these are real ads. They have been translated from the Spanish by yours truly. And I try to maintain a sense of the weirdnesses of the original Spanish there. Well, without further ado, Louisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about Hog Fresh Cod Liver Oil. It doesn't have the smell or the taste of other cod liver oils. Its effectiveness is certain against chest diseases. And also, get ready, scrofula, bronchitis, constipation, chronic cough, stunted growth in children, candidiasis. Ask for it under the blue seal of the French state. Hog Pharmacy, 2 Rue Castillon in Paris. And outside of France, it is available in all major pharmacies. Might I recommend Pharmacia Guillemette? Of course. I love the idea of this. I love how many things it's going to cure for you. Bronchitis and constipation, amazing. I wonder if they promise anything like that now. I know people still take cod liver oil, and I know it can be good for digestive issues, but I wonder if they still promise that it's going to cure coughs and scrofula and such. Stunted growth in children. Failure to thrive.
Says, let's see here, what do we got? So good, I am taking it right now. It burps up nice. I only use the best Parisian cod liver oils.
That's right.
Alright, we're going to tell our socials that we're officially in free baseball territory, and so people should jump in before we continue with the game. Real quick, does anybody have any objection to us switching to one pitch mode for the rest of this? Because otherwise we might be here a while.
Well, I like one pitch mode. It goes by so fast.
It sure does. Also, if I'm honest, I think the Navegadores will have the advantage there. Says Franchise Time Machine isn't usually here at the start. They may not know about Dr. G. Yeah, FDM, do you know about Dr. Gonzalez and his wood tar liquor? Are you familiar? Are you savvy? So much cod liver oil, so little time. That's on Mastodon, by the way. So it's time for Educate Me, please. Louisa, I think, we started the Regulation 9 with a read of this ad. I think it's only fair that we start our extras with a read of this ad.
All right, here we go. By popular demand, our most venerable sponsor, Dr. Gonzalez, and his wonderful wood tar liquor. Folks, 50,000 patients have been cured over 10 years with it. It's good for chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, that's inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And, of course, sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillemeti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Yeah, so that is our favorite sponsor of all time, Dr. Gonzalez's Wood Tar Liquor.
That's right.
So much so that we have, in fact, and hang on just a sec.
Here we go.
Real quick, where are we here? Anyway, sorry. Give me 1 second. They are so favored by fans of the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña that we have even dedicated a T-shirt to them, because we can do that, because as far as we can tell, Dr. Gonzalez's Wood Tar Liquor is no longer sold.
Yes.
Because...
And I have that design as a mug, so I can drink wood tar liquor or whatever I choose right out of it.
I have it as a T-shirt, but I do enjoy wearing it because it's one of those T-shirts that guarantees triple takes.
Yes. Everyone wants to know more about Dr. Gonzalez's wonderful wood tar liquor.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to go to one pitch mode and try to get out of this quickly, and that means we got to remember... Okay, Chet probably doesn't need to be warmed up quite yet. Nicodemo Caballero will be facing Spike Stonehand, who's 0 for 2 on the day, and, well, from here on out, the pucker factor does not get any smaller. So he's through 9 innings, 109 pitches, 9 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts, and if you guys are wondering, why is he still out there 109? The year is 1905. You're lucky he's not worse. And thank you. Yeah, we do like that shirt design. Here comes Stonehand, and he, on a 2-strike pitch, puts that one into right field. Is that going to land? Unbelievably, it does.
Whoa!
Quesada ran parallel to that.
All right.
But gave up the base hit. Here comes Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 4 on the day.
They're getting serious now.
Yeah, the Shantymen have joined in. Feaster hasn't had a great game, and here on the 1-0 pitch, he hits that one, and it's a liner right to Espinosa.
Nice.
Sure.
I was playing the New York Times spelling bee the other day, and it said shanty wasn't a word. Don't tell me that's not a word.
How did you spell it?
With a C. I know it's often spelled with an S, but it can be spelled with a C.
Yeah. I think that might not be. I think that might not be an American spelling. Is the problem? Sorry, a USian spelling.
Yes, true.
All right, here comes Short Lou, who's 1 for 3 with an ribby. Ooh, he takes it to a full count. What does he do with that? Hits it up the middle. There goes Stonehand, running into second. Conroy will stop him getting it further there.
That looked like it was going to hit the pitcher for sure.
Yeah, he got lucky on that one. Here comes Vidal Santiago, 1 for 3 on the day. Can he do anything here? 2-2 count.
Come on.
He strikes out a lot in these situations, so be ready. As that's another liner to Espinosa.
Oof.
And normally, this would be where we'd say, yep, he's going to win it. It's over. No worries. But Pablo in the postseason has not proven to be the same animal, so... With 2 on and 2 outs, here comes Pablo Salmeron, 1 for 4. Designated hitter, backup catcher, second on the team in home runs. Let's see if he's got anything he can do on the 3-1 count. Hey, fair enough, he walks.
He's been doing okay today.
Yeah. Loads the bases, and here comes Frank de Castillo, who's 1 for 4 on the day.
Yes, Frank, you can do this, Frank. You can do it.
First pitch to him. Hits that one. Center field, that's going to get caught for sure. That's not leaving the field. as Conroy chases it down. He puts it up, and he's got it.
Oh, my God.
The Navegadores yet again strand 3 as Varela, who threw only 3 pitches, will be allowed to take the next inning, because why not? He'll face Juan Perez, Connor McDonald, and Joey Crows. Perez is 1 for 3 on the day. Varela has pitched 2 outs, allowing a walk. Perez struck out last time he came up, and here he strikes out again. Perez, no chance on that slider, and here comes McDonald, who's 0 for 4 on the day. More charging. He strikes out.
Oh, man.
And this is where it's going to get interesting, because here comes Joey Crows with another chance to hit his 14th home run of the postseason and make it a walk-off. 2 outs and the base is empty for him. He's 0 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Full count to him. How does this end? He flies out. Joey Crows is 0 for 5 in a playoff game.
That's amazing.
For those of you who missed that, he has hit 13 home runs in this postseason. As Will puts it, more like no crow. Oof, burn. And Varela's still at 19 pitches. He could theoretically take the next inning as well. Ooh, I know. I also know what would be extremely funny to do. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Where is he? Well, I have a good friend who mentioned at the end of the World Series last year that... so, I know, Louisa, you don't watch any MLB baseball.
True.
And I try not to these days for various reasons that we don't need to get into right now. But the Dodgers closed it out by having their starter, normally he's a starting pitcher, Walker Buehler, who was injured during much of the season, come in to close out the final game. And I have a good friend who said it's always electric when a starter closes out the final game of the series. So Everton's stack is going to be in the pen from now on.
Nice.
Y'all, there was enough support for him taking the ball in this game, so we think it's okay to use him, and says either LMP World Series is the only series. Thank you. Benji Valdez, 1 for 4 on the day. Nicodemo Caballero, 133 pitches over 10 innings, 11 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and no strikeouts.
Oh, man.
How he has not struck anybody out yet is beyond me, but he's about to do it, isn't he? Nope. Another base hit from the Naves. And Benji Valdez says the go-ahead run will be aboard. Carolina not happy about that one. He will be on base. Here comes Chenda Su getting his first... Oh, boy. This has got to be interesting. Taking your first at-bat as the potential winner of a playoff elimination game in the National Series.
His stats would be impeccable.
Here goes nothing. 2-2 count. He hits that one. It's a base hit. Chenda Su, the first Cambodian in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, punches a base hit to right. And that's going to put 2 men on for Ham Underwood. 2 on, no outs. Can he do it? He's already got 2 hits on the day. This could be it. 2-1 count.
Wow.
Hit through. Espinosa has it. He throws to second for 1. Their throw back to first, and he is out. It's a double play, but Benji makes it to third.
Okay, all right. Something.
Here comes Stonehand. Can he do anything? He's 1 for 3 on the day. Boy, he did that on a sinker, too. Ugh, right down the middle. All right, let's see what happens here. Stonehand on the first pitch. Oh, that is a tank! And that ball is out of here. Spike Stonehand tears the cover off that ball. His first home run of the postseason. And the Navegadores, for the second time on broadcast, grab a 3-1 lead on a completely unexpected dinger.
From Spike, I never would have bet on that. Wow.
A cutter that just could not get by him. Blows that one into the Carolina bullpen.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, now you have a right to be that mad. Nicodemo Caballero still in the game as he faces the top of the lineup. Let's see if they're going to try and tack anything else on with 2 outs and no one on. Feaster, 2-2 count. It would be very funny if he struck out now, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. The first strikeout of the game when he's exhausted and just lost the lead.
Yeah.
That is brutal. All right. It's time to close this out. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo. Number 3, Everton Stack. He's pitched exactly 1 game in the postseason. 8 innings pitched, 1 win, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA of 1.12. If you're not familiar with Everton, he has a fastball, curveball, sinker, but his money pitch is his splitter, and he will be facing Espinosa, Boyce, and Quesada. Espinosa has been a real menace for Navegadores pitchers in this game. He is 3 for 4, has a chance at a 4-hit night here, and if anybody can shut him down, it's Stack, who I believe started game 3. On the 1-0 pitch, Stack during his starts this season before he got injured, he missed 4 months after he tore his meniscus. Espinosa bats that one into right field. Franklin Castillo has it, and it's out number 1. As they start playing the music again, that was a sinker that Stack threw there. He was injured for 4 months. Like I said, he went 17-3 before then. He faces Theo Boyce, who was 0 for 1. On the 0-1 count, Boyce hits that one. It's a bounce to Feaster. He takes it unassisted. And we are 1 out away. For those of you who may have joined us recently or may not understand, if Stack gets this out, the Navegadores win the 1905 Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. They become the first team to repeat, if I remember correctly, since the Ingenieros. Let me check. The last time a team repeated in the national championship, won 2 years in a row, was 1885 and 1886 when the Ingenieros won it back-to-back. Now, granted, they did that winning it 4 times in a row, 1883, 84, 85, 86.
Whoa.
And they would be the first team to repeat in Betances. That has never happened. So can Stack do this against Inocencio Quesada?
Yes.
Let's find out together.
I say yes.
Oh, I already know, but...
Is the sun starting to set?
0-1
Is that
count?
how long you've been playing?
Hit that one into center field. Ham Underwood chasing it down. He looks up. He puts up the glove. And the Navegadores are champions of Puerto Rico. Naguabo wins their second Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. Naguabo, the first team to choose a player. The first team to officially have a roster. Wins and sweeps the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño for the second year in a row. What
Amazing.
a wonderful end. Could not have, I mean, we say this all the time. It's a cliche in baseball writing, but you could not have scripted that any better.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, the Navegadores won this with a 5-game sweep as well, but that was not a tense Game 5 at all. You knew all the way who was winning. This time, boy, they really put the screws to the Navegadores pitching. The Tumbabrazos held the lineup until they just couldn't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, it seems like they focused on trying to keep the Naves off the base pass. And they were pretty successful at doing that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they failed to contend with an Argentinian catcher with a real chip on his shoulder. I bet you he dropped the double deuce after that home run. I'll say that.
He deserves to.
He sure
I'm
does.
so glad one of our special guys that we have been following for so long, was able to do this. I did not expect him to hit a home run in a million years.
Absolutely not. Especially not after that double play. That sucked all of the air out, and then he goes and does that. Incredible.
Yeah.
Will says, great season. Thank you both so much. Thank you. We literally couldn't do this without you, Will, and you, C. Seiler. and you, Luisa, for that matter. All of you support what we're doing here in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña with your money, your time, your players. And honestly, this has been such an amazing season. We should talk a little bit more about this game.
Mhm.
Pajkos pitched 6, allowed 5 hits, allowed the earned run, unfortunately. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. Kareem Anbar blew the save, allowing that inherited runner to score. But then proceeded to pitch. Other than that, let's see here, 7 outs, a 2-hit, 3 strikeout ball. Hector Varela will get his second win of the postseason after throwing 5 outs of a hitless, 1 walk, 2 strikeout ball. And Everton Stack, I believe, gets his first save ever after pitching 1 6-pitch inning. Nicodemo Caballero unfortunately takes his 4th loss of the postseason over 11 innings, 14 hits, but he held them to 3 runs on 14 hits and 3 walks and a hit batsman.
Yeah.
Wait, you remember who got hit, right?
Who did get hit?
It was Spike.
Oh, he got his revenge then, huh?
He sure did.
That's a story.
That is baseball.
Mhm.
Offensive efforts up and down the pike. Everybody got a hit in the starting lineup. The only person, in fact, to hold a bat, the only person who didn't get a hit and played for the Naves in this game as a position player was Ted Balloon, who was just a pinch runner. So literally every member of the lineup, if they went up to bat, they got at least 1 hit. And Chen Desu, who will next year possibly be on the roster as a utility player, has a batting average in the postseason of 1,000, as he got a hit in his first at bat ever in the playoffs. Shirley coming in big with 2 hits. Valdez coming in big with 2 hits. Underwood and Stonehand all with multi-hit efforts. And, of course, Stonehand with that big homer to take the lead there. And lastly, we should say that, Will, if you're still watching, congratulations. Benji Valdez just won MVP of the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño, joining a very rarefied group of guys to have won it, to have won 2 Ilustres in the same series. Pardon me, in the same postseason.
Nice.
Okay. Well, Luisa, any final thoughts before we kind of talk about what's going to happen from here on out?
Just that it was such an exciting game. I was afraid it was going to be a 1-0 win, and then when it was 1-1, I was like, oh, is this going to be a loss? It could be. And then that home run, incredible. You never know what's going to happen.
You sure don't. Thank you, Franchise Time Machine, for being here. When we were scheduling the commercials before the game, I was trying to set, this is when it's going to be, this is when it's not going to be. Put this one after a 6th inning, and we're like, when's FTM going to come in? Because this is when I need to set the one. Also, by the way, sorry, before I forget, we need to talk about the fact that there was a prediction, and it did not come true. Joey Kroos did not hit home run number 14 tonight. But still,
I'm ruined.
13 just destroys the record of 4. So, there is that. Gente, just to let you know what's going to happen from here on out, we are actually going to go into hibernation for a little bit, or I guess in this season you call it vernation, because it's the spring.
I guess.
Well, it's called H2ation if you do it over the summer, so. Anyway, point being, we're going to put this, we're going to start putting the off season for 1905-1906 together. That means that we're going to migrate over to Out of the Park 26. It means that we are going to check and make sure that everything is still working correctly as we move over to the new version. And it means that we are going to work on a couple of things. There were some decisions that were made by our patrons, one of which you can become if you join at the Ko-Fi link that got sent like an hour ago. But if you want to become one of our supporters, you can certainly, let's see here. We would love to have you. And there used to be a chat window open here. Wonder what happened to that. At any rate, you can certainly join and become part of that effort. But we're going to go into a couple of weeks where maybe there will be assorted streams, but most of the action is going to be with our patrons. We're going to be talking to them about what they want to see and what they would like us to do over the course of this off season. If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
That's right.
Yeah, fair enough. But yes, we will be back eventually once everything seems to be copacetic for 1906, which will be our first season with not just the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, but the Copa Mundial, where we are going to have the 8 countries of baseball that, frankly, we care about. So there is one that's going to get left out, and you probably know exactly which one it is.
Mhm.
We'll go head to head to determine who is the world champion of baseball, and I think it'll be fun to see some of these guys play against each other for the first time. I would expect that Pablo Salmeron will be playing for Cuba. I would expect that Frank de Castillo will play for Mexico, Valdez for Puerto Rico, Underwood for England. Um, and unfortunately, Feaster, Sherlew, and Balloon might have to find a second nationality somewhere in there.
That's right.
But yeah, it'll be very interesting. And Everton Stack will likely play for Jamaica, so there's that as well.
Hmm.
Boy, what a season!
Yeah, amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there's something I'm leaving out, but I don't know what it is. And maybe it's better that way. Gente, it has been an honor to be here with you, but it's time to go for tonight. So, as always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Thank you. Gracias. Mil veces mil. Buenas noches y Dios les bendiga.